Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to an interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with this report claiming that Man City are eyeing an audacious swap deal involving Bernardo Silva and Barca mainstay Frankie de Jong. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Frank Kessie, as it have been reported that the Barca star is a priority target now for Juventus and will push for a move in a few days, according to Fabrizio Romano. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Football transfers have exclusively claimed that Premier League side Manchester City are considering a potential swap with Barcelona involving Frankie de Jong and Bernardo Silva. The aforementioned outlet claims that Man City wants to take advantage of Barcelona's pursuit of Bernardo Silva, whom they value at around 80 million euros, by demanding the Young in return. City understand that Barcelona are actively looking to bolster the squad for the next season, and for that they need considerably slash the wage bill. They are aware of the fact that Frankie de Jong occupies a large space on the club's payroll, and they intend to play around with this particular fact. Now, it is no secret that Barcelona have identified Bernardo Silva as someone who could revitalize the team, but City's midfield will have a huge gap to fill if the Portuguese does decide to leave the Etihad this summer. This is another reason why City are planning to propose a swap, but it will be interesting to see how Barca respond to that, as Frankie de Jong is a vital member of Xavi's blueprint for the next season. Apart from that, there are several other factors that will be considered, such as the team's financial situation, the players' preferences, and the adherence to financial fair play rules, to name a few. Once everything is figured out, only then could the move materialize. As for Silva, we have reported before that the player is more than willing to come to Barcelona, but he is only waiting for the Catalan team to come up with an official offer. Interestingly enough, a few Barcelona delegates recently met with Jorge Mendes in order to discuss the market movements, and it is believed that Bernardo Silva's name was discussed in that very meeting. As of today, only Barcelona's interest was evident, but City's desire to get Frankie de Jong in return might change the entire face of the deal, given that the Dutchman is considered an untouchable by La Liga's champions. Of course, Bernardo Silva has long been linked with Barca, and those rumors have reignited, to my greatest surprise, because for the number of times we have been showing interest for Bernardo Silva, at the end of the day, we come to realize that there is no way Barca can make a move because of financial reasons. Bernardo Silva is such a valuable player because of his quality. Of course, City are rating him for at least 80 million if you want to buy him, which is a crazy amount that Barca can never afford at this point in their financial records. And the fact that Bernardo Silva's name have been coming again in the rumor mill in transfer is something to be surprised. But nonetheless, reports are saying that the player is the one pushing for a move. He really wants Barca to make a move. He really wants to join Barca, as it have always been his dream. But the fact that Man City is also not letting him leave until Barca pay the price, and City will leave him willingly if the price comes. But that looks so complicated as it stands. And now this report now recently claiming how, potential swap deal between Frankie de Jong and Bernardo Silva, if in case Man City are going for the swap, it will make the deal somehow change. Like, Bernardo Silva might still come, because if Xavi considers that, then nobody can say no. because Javi likes Bernardo Silva a lot as well. We quite remember Frankie de Jong was almost pushed out of Barca last season as United had already agreed with Barca, only for the player to stubbornly say he won't leave and he wants to stay, which he finally won that battle. And now we are still talking about a possible swap deal between those two similar players. If you ask me personally, I would say I don't need that. I think Frankie de Jong is a good player. I think he should be there. He's a quality player that any big team would like to have. And I think a little bit younger than Bernardo Silva. So I don't see the need why Barca should be doing such things. The fact that Silva plays for City under Pep Guardiola, who is the greatest manager ever, does not mean that Xavi would do the same for Bernardo. Yes, Bernardo has quality, but Pep Guardiola adds some things into his game. So I don't think we just have to do swap blindly, and I definitely don't think that swap will go through. Then moving on to the final story of discussion, transfer market specialist Fabrizio Romano, has affirmed that Barca midfielder Frank Kessie remains the utmost priority for Serie A side Juventus. The journalist adds that Juventus' intention at this point is to insist on the player in the next few days and try to check if he would be open to the move. As for the player, he has always maintained that he wants to continue at Barca, and if not that, try the Premier League experience. But regardless, the team from Turin will try to push for a move in the next few days. Interestingly enough, in order to accommodate Frank Kessie at Juve, the old lady must make space for the Ivorian, and a few steps have already been taken in that regard. To begin with, it is said that they are open to selling the star midfielder Paul Pogba for about 10 million, mostly due to fitness issues. Earlier reports claim that Saudi side Al Ahly expressed interest, but even they are having second thoughts over his fitness. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.